Let us review the overall procedure and steps involved in creating mesh in Star CCM Plus. The first step in mesh generation is to select mesh models. For this, first go to Parts and select the existing part and insert meshing models. Right-click and select Create Mesh Operation, then Automated Mesh. Check that existing part is selected for parts and select the models. The models can be Surface Remesher, Trimmed Cell Mesher, Prism Layer Mesher. Click OK. A new entry appears under Operations. The yellow exclamation mark indicates that this operation has not been executed yet. Then the second step is to set the default mesh settings. For this, we have to go to Operations and then Automated Mesh. Under Default Controls, set two user inputs. First is base size. The example shown here is of base size 0.25 m. Then we have to enter the prism layer total thickness. Then relative size. The example shown here is relative size 10%. We need to change these according to our requirements. The third step is to generate mesh. For this, we have to start the meshing pipeline. Go to Operations, then Automated Mesh. Right-click and select Execute, or press the Generate Volume Mesh button in the toolbar. Star CCM Plus automatically generates a surface mesh, then a volume mesh with prism layers on the walls. The exclamation mark disappears and a new node is added to continue Parts Meshes. After generating mesh, we visualize and inspect the mesh. In a new scene, the mesh is visualized. This is the process. First, create a new mesh scene. Right-click on the scenes, then New Scene, and then Mesh. Or use the Create Open Scenes button in the Wiz toolbar. Make the scene transparent. We can also modify the scene and inspect mesh in detail and in various planes. We can change the view. For this, press T on your keyboard. T is a shortcut for top view in Z direction. Make view parallel. Click on the camera icon. Select projection and then parallel. Create a section plane through parts. The example shows section plane through the wheels. In the Wiz toolbar, click on the FX icon. Draw a line in the scene as shown in the picture. Choose to select a new geometry displayer. Such operations and displays can be used to see and inspect the mesh in a better manner. Continuing explanation of techniques to visualize the mesh, next we see how to change the position of the section plane. Change the position of the section plane if it doesn't cut through required location. Go to Derived Parts and then the plane section. In the Properties window of single section, click on the offset value. A slider appears and allows adjusting the position interactively. I hope you have got enough idea on techniques to see and inspect generated mesh. In general, this is the workflow while generating any kind of mesh in Star CCM Plus. The first operation is to import surface in the form of CAD geometry or create CAD in 3D CAD tool. Then perform surface repair operations and make the surfaces ready for CFD volume extraction and mesh generation. After this, we generate the surface mesh and then we generate the final volume mesh. The final task in meshing operation is to check and inspect the mesh quality and verify the mesh. After this, we use this mesh for CFD simulation. Now, we will see all these operations in detail one by one. We will not go into detail as to how the CAD model is created, as we studied it in geometry modeling section of our course. Here, we will directly start our study at the stage where we have CAD geometry. Hence, the first task in meshing operation is to prepare the CAD surfaces for meshing. Why do surfaces need to be prepared? There can be many problems or errors in the CAD surfaces which can make them unsuitable or not ready for mesh. These problems can be of different types, like imported CAD has too many details. Possible surface errors are volume is not closed, surfaces overlay each other, surfaces intersect each other, volume is not manifold. Hence, we need surface repair before any mesh is generated or attempted.